And welcome back, guys, to Modded Minecraft 1.19, where last time we built and finished this here wizard tower with this here floating ship, and it is amazing. I've actually moved in. Let me show you what I've done. First things first, this little step, that's a doozy. You got to be careful. I've opened up this space here, and you can probably already see I've got a teleporter here, and that's because if you come up in this general direction, just above where you would, go onto the ship and fly to Neverland. I've got my bedroom up here, and empty chests. I haven't really put anything in here, but here's the bed and here is the teleporter. So if I go through the teleporter, it brings you back to this teleportation hub, if you will. So yeah, today, guys, very, very exciting times because we're going to be working on the induction matrix. Now, the induction matrix is essentially a power storage unit, something like a giant battery. I mean, that's basically what it is. And what you can do with it is you can store crazy amounts of power. And although I'm perfectly content with this system here, the gas burning generator and everything, I mean, it produces enough power for me. I'm really annoyed with the sound of the pistons all the time. And I'm ready to move on to more sophisticated energy production anyway. So what we need to do is we need to work our way up to the fission reactor and the industrial turbine. And I know those words may be a little bit mysterious to you, but what you need to know for now is that the induction matrix is where the energy is going to go that system produces. And if you don't have a good place for that power to go, that system can explode and send radioactive fallout all over your base and kill you. So it's bad. So we're going to be building this induction matrix today. And the first step really is to break down how to get the induction casings, because that is what this machine, this multi-structure is made of. And it is also going to be made of a very large amount of basic energy cubes, a large amount of energy tablets. We'll get into the numbers here in a moment. And this is where we are finally going to be using lithium dust, because we're going to need a grand total of 64 of these basic induction cells, and each one of these requires 4 lithium dust. So that means we're going to need 4 stacks of lithium dust to get enough for a stack of basic induction cells. And I believe, yes, we're also going to need 4 stacks of lithium dust for the induction provider. I'll break down the details more as we go along, but the basics are this. We're going to be making the ultimate induction provider and the ultimate induction cell. This is the best bang for your buck as far as space is concerned. And the way you make these is real simple. You have to make 64 induction cells that are basic. You combine 4 of them in each block with an advanced energy cube to get 16 total advanced induction cells, and then you turn those 16 advanced induction cells into 4 elite induction cells, and then those 4 elite induction cells get converted into 1 ultimate induction cell, and it can hold 4 terajoules of power, which is nuts. That's like an unspeakable amount of power. And the same thing with the induction provider, 64 basics to 16 advanced to 4 to elites to 1 ultimate. So we're going to be taking advantage of a lot of automation today to get this done, because I want to be able to recreate this system again if I ever need more. But I think we'll start back with lithium. So you remember last time, or not a long time ago, actually, whenever we made the evaporation plants, we have one that's producing brine and one that is producing lithium. Well, I told you guys in that video, we're gonna make use of lithium eventually, and I've already set it up because it's machines that you've already seen before. So the lithium is a liquid, so we're gonna use a rotary condensator to convert the liquid form of lithium into the gas form of lithium, and then we'll use a chemical crystallizer to convert the gas lithium into lithium dust. And then I've got it ejected into this chest. So remember, I'm going to need 8 stacks of this stuff. So that should be it right there. Yes, I've got 8 stacks. Excellent. And then this will automatically fill this back up in the event that I need more in the future. So that's already step 1. And I've crafted all that on camera before. I just didn't feel like doing it again. Now, for the automation side of things, I'm going to make what is called a formulaic assemblycator. And a formulaic assemblycator is essentially an automatic crafting table. So I've got a crafting table in all up in here. I think everything I need actually is going to be in here. Obviously, this is where my storage is, but if I go to not the bedroom, but the second floor, I've now set up what will be the automation floor, because I eventually will automate a lot of crafting using formulaic assemblicators. So to make a formulaic assemblycator, you need 4 steel ingots, 2 basic control circuits, a steel casing, crafting table, and a chest, or a trap chest. Apparently either one will work. So I don't have everything in my inventory just yet. I know that I've got a bunch of steel. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Okay, look at all this stuff that I have to prepare for today. And I forgot to get the extra steel. Well, I know where it is. It's just right here. Not a hard thing to go get, but I just find that ironic. It is a lot of stuff to prepare for today, and I didn't have what I needed just to make the beginning of everything. It's crazy. So, okay, formulaic assemblycator. This item here is, again, an automatic crafting table. It is going to come in some serious handy very, very soon. Now, before I put it down and explain how it works, I'm also going to create 2 of these crafting formulas, and I'll explain how these work in just a moment. So there you go. We've got that. I'm just moving this lithium out of the way. In fact, I should probably put the lithium in here. I'm not going to need it for a little bit. So a formulaic assemblycator, I'm just going to go ahead and slap that thing down right there. It does actually need power. So you know what? Let me just back up one step. I need a quantum entangler to bring me some power. So I'll slap that down just like so, set that to power, and just make sure it's ejecting energy out the top and out the right, because that's kind of where the formulaic assemblycator is going to be. So let's place down this one right here. It now has power. I also have upgrades, because you can make them faster and more energy efficient, and that's, you know, always a good thing. And I don't think it requires any more upgrades. No. Okay, perfect. So formulaic assemblycator, again, an automatic crafting table. What you do is you dump a ton of items into this inventory here and tell it to go. However that toggle is, I'll have to find that in a moment. But before you can do that, you actually have to tell it what it's going to craft. And so that's what the crafting formulas are for. So what I'm going to need, and I'll bounce back because I have all my notes here. First of all, we've made the formulaic assemblycator. We've made the crafting formula. I do have a couple of bins, so I do need one of them for this one, just like so. And we'll tell this one to eject to the right, so that once it starts to craft, this is actually where the items end up. And if you don't have a place for the items to go, it will stop, just like any other machine. So I have the basic bin here so that it can start collecting the items that we actually craft. So now that I've got the bin, notice this next line. I need to make 796 energy tablets. 796 energy tablets, which are 2,300 gold, 3,100 redstone, and 1,500 infused alloy. And that's just for the energy tablets. We also have a lot of need for energy cubes. I need 170 basic energy cubes. And this is, again, just to make the 64 induction cells and 64 induction providers that I need to end up with the ultimate versions of both. So yeah, kind of crazy, right? So I need the basic stuff, redstone, infused alloy, and gold. I've got all that stuff sitting in all these chests here. So you know what? Let me just grab 6 stacks of that, 4 stacks of that, and 8 stacks of that. That should have the right proportion. And again, I have to now tell it what I'm going to be making. So gold down the middle, infused alloy left and right, and redstone on the corners. And there you go. It now knows, okay, that's what I'm going to be making. Because if you were to just put gold, redstone, and infused alloy in the machine, I'm sure there are other things that can be made with some combination of those 3 items. But because I've set it up and told it, this is what you're making, now I'm going to encode the formula. That information is saved on the crafting formula here. Now, you know what? I'm going to turn on stock control, and I'm going to turn on auto mode. So now it automatically made an energy tablet. Now, all I have to do, and there are ways to automate this even more, but for now, this works great. Now I'm going to automatically feed, or I'm going to manually feed this thing materials, and notice how fast it's working. It is making energy tablets like crazy. Now, one of the major reasons why I wanted to do it like this is because energy tablets don't stack. So, like for instance, a diamond chest, right? This is 12 by 3, 6, 9, 12 by 9, right? So to have energy tablets, 700 and how many was it? 796 energy tablets. I would have to have like 7 or 8 of these diamond chests just to hold all of these energy tablets. And that doesn't even include all of the energy cubes, which again, don't stack. So using bins and the formulaic assemblicator is by far the best way to do this. And apparently I've miscounted. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to feed this machine all it needs to make the exact number of energy tablets I need, which is 796. It actually works really quickly, but it's just kind of a tedious process, but way better than doing this all manually. And there you go, 796 energy tablets. I've emptied out everything that was in there. Now, you may have noticed, if you were paying attention, that I've actually got 2 sets of upgrades. And the reason for that is because I want to set this whole system up and then leave it here again. I think I've mentioned this before, so that I can, do this again someday and do it easily. So next step is to make another formulaic assemblicator, and I've got everything I need in my inventory already to do that. And I will set that thing down right there. It's getting power from the same quantum entangler, and it should have an input from this energy tablet into it once I get it set up. So first things first, though, we do want them to be fast and efficient. Now I'm going to set down the other bin, which I believe is actually over here. And this bin is going to receive energy cubes. Now, just the basic form. We don't need it. We don't need to automate every step of the way. Just the basic energy cubes. And I'm going to need a grand total of 170 of these basic energy cubes. Now, I do have a limiting factor just to make sure I don't overmake, and that's with this here. I've got 170 steel casings. So that'll definitely keep me from overproducing here. So I'm going to place those in. I have no more steel casings. I'm also going to set it up to where I can receive items from the top, which I've already got. And you know what? I'm going to probably, let me see. What if I right click? No, I know there's a way to set these things up to auto eject items. Let me just play around with that for a moment. There we go. With the configurator, shift right click. And now it's receiving energy tablets. Now, unfortunately, I didn't hit stock control, so that's going to have to be done here in a moment. But what I need to do now is set up the actual crafting formula. So I need redstone, energy tablets, steel casing, and iron. So do I have, I definitely have all of that stuff. So now I've got to set this up appropriately. So there's that, grab that, and then one of these, and then bam. It now knows what to do. Stock control is now turned on, so I can, take a bunch of these out, and then it won't overfill my inventory with all this stuff. So I'll go ahead and throw that back in. I can put the rest of these back inside. And now all I have to do is manually feed it things like redstone and iron. And yeah, it'll make. So stock control is on. Auto mode is on as well. And now there you go. We now have a basic energy cube. It does need to eject out the right. There you go. Now I'll be able to feed this thing iron and redstone, and it will automatically create basic energy cubes. And again, my limiting factor is the steel casing, so I don't really have to worry about doing the math like I did with the energy tablets to get the right number. So yeah, looking good. I'm going to make them. Be back with you shortly. So while that is cooking away, you can see this number going down, this number going up. That's exactly what I want to see. I can mark off these off the list. So the energy tablets are now done. I'm not going to worry about marking all these off because that's just math and reference for me. But I did finish the steel casings before I even started filming, and now we're working on 170 basic energy cubes. Now, the reason why you need 170 is each of these ultimates require 85, and that's because you have 64 basics. You have 16 advanceds, you have 4 elites, and 1 ultimate. You add that all up, you get 85, and you got to do that twice. So 85 times 2 is 170. 170 basic energy cubes. I've got 456 energy tablets left, which I don't know if that's correct math. I might actually be off on some of my math here. We'll find out. But okay, so next, what I need to do is I'm thinking probably start making basic induction cells, because each of these basic induction cells are going to require a basic energy cube and 4 energy tablets. There's really no good way to automate this. I mean, I guess I could technically put another formulaic assembly cater between these two bins, but this bin won't automatically eject up. Whenever you do that shift right click with the configurator, all it does is automatically eject items downward. Also, it's far away from the energy system, so I'm thinking I'll manually do the rest of this. So you know what, let's grab this crafting table and pull it over here, and I'm going to be using these items going back and forth, and essentially I'm going to craft 64 of these basic induction cells, which means really the only thing I need in my inventory are these 4 lithium dust, which is pretty awesome. So you know what, let's place these. I'm just going to get these out of my inventory, make things nice and easy. And for each 1 energy cube, I pull out 4 energy tablets. And because these things don't stack, it's gonna be a bit of a tedious process, I think. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to click this and then shift click that, or I guess I don't have to shift click anything. It's just it's more automatic if I shift click at least this one. Wow, okay, yeah, this is gonna take me some time, guys. 4 energy cubes and fill up my inventory with this, and that should be, did I do 4? Oh, I did 6. Okay, 6 per round, pull until I start seeing the energy cubes, and then just click and click and click and click forever and ever and ever. And 64 basic induction cells. Nice. I've got 106 of the basic energy cubes left and 200 exactly energy tablets. So now I think I will tackle the 64 basic induction providers, which is significantly easier. I just need 4 stacks of basic control circuits, 4 stacks of lithium dust, and then I'll use 64 of my basic energy cubes to make 64 of these basic induction providers. So it should not be difficult. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. I had everything I need to get this done. So same process, except this time I can be way, way, way faster, because this is the only, I'm not using the energy tablets. So simplicity at its finest. In fact, I can kind of do something really, really fast. As long as I set it all up correctly, I can shift click back and forth and make these at a significantly quicker pace than the actual induction cells, which is just fantastic. And 64 induction providers. Very, very nice. Okay, so we've got those set up. So now our attention needs to shift over to advanced induction cells and advanced induction providers, but that's going to require advanced energy cubes. And we're not just going to be using them to make the advanced providers and cells. We also have to use those to tech up other energy cubes to elite. So we're not just making 16 for each. We're actually going to be making 16 plus 4 plus 1, so that's 21 twice. So we need to make 42 advanced energy cubes, which happens to be the number I have here. So that worked out very nicely. So with 42 advanced energy cubes, I'm now going to convert all 64 of my basic induction cells into advanced induction cells. And that's going to convert each one from 8 gigajoules to 64, which essentially doubles, because you have 8, 8, 8, and 8, which equals 32 gigajoules. But this is 64. The amount of power the energy tablets add to the equation are negligible, and really even the amount of power storage in the energy cube is negligible. That's only megajoules. These are gigajoules. So you're essentially doubling your power capacity if you do this. So I'm going to make 16 of these, and I'm also going to be making 16 of these, the induction provider, advanced energy cube, 4 basic induction providers, and 4 advanced control circuits. But with this, I'll be using up the majority of my advanced energy cubes. And once again, the induction provider is super simple, because the only thing that doesn't stack is the energy cube. So I'm going to be able to shift and click this and do this way faster than the induction cell. And then, of course, if I'm using 16 of these advanced energy cubes per stack, or per induction cell or provider, And now I should have exactly 10 of our advanced energy cubes left. And we do. So now I'm going to convert all 10 of these into an elite energy cube. And you know what? I'll go ahead and convert 2 of those into ultimate energy cubes, which require diamonds. And I'm pretty confident that I did not bring diamonds. So I got to go get some of those. So with 28 energy tablets left, I've got 8 elite energy cubes and I've got 2 ultimate energy cubes, which again will come in handy very, very soon. So now I need to convert my advanced induction cells and providers into the elite forms, which it's kind of the same process. You use the energy cube of that same level and then 4 of the lower levels with 4 energy tablets. And I'm going to be making 4 of the elite form of both. So we're going to convert from 64 basics to 16 advanced to 4 elites. So 4 elite induction cells. Now I need 4 elite induction providers. Same concept, except for you use the control circuits. So I think I've got everything in my inventory that I need to do this, actually, because I don't have to have the energy tablets. And oh, okay, yeah, we're good. All right, for some reason I forgot that I had already converted 2 of my energy cubes into ultimates, so I left 2 in this bin. All right, so I've got that 4 elites of both. Now I need to convert it to the ultimates, and all that I need are 4 energy tablets. And for that, and then for this, I'm only going to need 4 of the ultimate control circuits, which I have. Perfect. So let's do it. Ultimate induction cell, 4 terajoules of power, and 4 ultimate induction provider, just like so. There you go. Now that is the guts of the induction cell, or the induction matrix. But what we actually need more of is induction casings. I'm going to need a bunch of those. So to make induction casings, and do I even have steel on me? I'm going to take all these energy tablets because I'm going to need 30 of these induction casings. And each group of 4 require an energy tablet. 8 times 4 is 32. And that's how many I'm going to have to make. So the math has worked out perfectly, guys. I am very, very pleased to be able to announce that for sure. So I'm just going to go ahead and place all these down and shift click. And of course, shift clicking, it doesn't really work in this case because it wants to put it up in that spot. It has to be in the middle. But there you go, guys. Now, once that is done, we have made the induction casings. I'm going to make 2 of these induction ports, which is how you get the power in and out. So, you know, you saw how that was made. Induction casings with an electric control circuit in the middle makes 2 of them. That's how many I need. And lastly, I need some structural glass, which is, I'm going to need 6 of them, which it's made in groups of 4. So I'm going to technically make 8. So I need 8 steel and 2 glass, which I think I've got glass. Yeah, I do. Perfect. Had everything I needed to get this job done, guys. This is just awesome. Okay, so we have everything we need now to put this thing into play, except for, wait a second, I need to mark off some stuff, obviously. So we've done all the energy cubes. I'm just going to mark that one off. We've done 30 induction casings. We've done 6 structural glass. We've done 2 induction ports. We're done. All right, let's go put it together now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep you guys in for this scene because it's just kind of fun. So I can either go down through here, and the power system is going to be over there for, you know, temporarily. I'm actually going to end up moving the power system because that's, well, hold on a second. Okay, so my plan, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour on the plan for the future. My plan is to have the enormous turbine right here in the middle. After I take all this out, my plan is to actually remove this entire thing. I'm tired of hearing the pistons, like I said at the beginning, so I'm going to remove all this. So directly in the middle, wherever the middle point is, I'm expecting to put the turbine. And then also on the other side, put the fission reactor, which will be smaller. The turbine will be maximum size. And then eventually I'll have the fusion reactor too, but that's a whole nother animal. So that means that the power is going to need to go into the turbine. So that means that I'm going to actually be able to put the induction matrix over here, and it can actually stay there. So that's kind of awesome. So the way this is going to work is, let me see, right there. Yeah, right there. This my induction matrix that I'm going to make is a 3x3. Now it can go all the way up to an 18 by 18 in width and length. In height, it can go as high as 18 as well. Mine's only going to be 4 because again, I've spent the time and the resources to make this thing small and efficient by using the ultimate versions, which gives you the biggest bang for your buck as far as space is concerned. So the way this is going to be designed is it is a 3x3x4. So the bottom is solid. The edges are also solid. And let me just place that there. There you go. Just like so. Are these edges or corners? I don't even know. And then the top will also be solid. There you go. So that is essentially the structure. Now I'm going to be putting structural glass just to give me a way to look into the thing, to be honest. And I want this to be structural glass as well. And this will be as well. But before I put in all of that, I'll put a port here. I'm going to place down the induction provider, which now I'll give you the tour of what this thing does. The induction provider allows me to pull power or push power in or out of this machine based on the level of the actual induction provider. So output rate 131 megajoules. If you use the elite, you only get 16 megajoules. If you use the advanced, you get 2. And if you use the basic, you only get 256 kilojoules per tick of output. So I'm going to be able to pull out a ton of power without a problem. And you can read that if you'd like to in your own time. And then the actual cell is what's holding the actual power. So I'm going to place that down just like so. Place down the port and the structural glass. And we will see now, boom, it is red. And if I right click this, it now shows me I've got energy, I've got capacity, I've got input, and I've got output. It is perfect. So it just so happens that this is my power quantum entangler. So the power goes into this quantum entangler and then comes out. So what I'm going to do instead, actually, wait a minute. I've got water and I've got oxygen and all this coming through there. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to have to adjust this. What I need is the power to go straight from the power system into the induction matrix and then come out the other side from another quantum entangler. In fact, I've got the quantum entangler here. So this one will be the permanent power output. But first, hold on. I've got to right click that. There you go. Now it's set to output. Red is output, green is input. So now whatever power goes in is going to be able to come out. And, I better set this to where I can input basically from every direction. There you go. So now it is going to receive power from this induction matrix. I want to show you guys this thing working. So I'm going to place some cables. Yep, I've got lots of cables. I thought I did. There's my cables. Okay, it was up here. I don't know why. I guess because I thought maybe I would need to transfer power from this quantum entangler to the formulaic assemblicators if I decided to do more than 2. Now, there's 2 ways to get over there. I can either go through the door and walk, or I can go through the ore processing teleporter and then go around the corner, and there it is. So great. I love the build. I love how all this has been set up. All right, so we're going to input, and we're going to put it in just like so. And then I actually want to, let me see, energy, right click. So now this cable is separated, and theoretically, this thing should be burning all kinds of gas now to fill this thing. But it's not. Okay. I had the quantum entangler there, and because this one's also here, the gas burning generator doesn't like to play nice with that. So, okay. I'll have to, tweak this whole system now that I've got the induction matrix put in. Probably off camera, but now you can see I am inputting a ton of power into this induction matrix. And really the limiting factor now is the universal cables. These are basics. I'm gonna have to upgrade them to get more power to go into this thing. But there you go. So it is, it's burning at max capacity right now, and it hasn't even shown up. It turns green as you fill it up. It is not even scratching the surface of how much power this thing can hold. And that is exactly what I was hoping to demonstrate to you guys, is that this thing is going to be, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to be able to use it for a very long time. And I think it looks really great. Like, to be able to come around here and see the purple, expensive as heck blocks inside of this thing is just perfect. It gives me that warm fuzzy feeling. I mean, think about how many thousands of blocks or ingots of gold and infused alloy and stuff is just right there. Like, I don't know where all the matter went, but it has definitely been compressed down to a much smaller size than you would think. I mean, if you had thousands of iron ingots strewn about this yard, it would be way bigger than those blocks right there. So I don't know how that works physically, but we're done. The induction matrix has been made. We have insane power production or power storage now. And so now we need to start working on power production because I'm in a gas burning generator. It just doesn't cut it. So next time, guys, we will be building the largest industrial turbine that you can make. I hope that you're looking forward to it because I am, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.